In a meeting in France over Brexit talks, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson put his foot up on a table in an unthinking act. Now this after French President Emmanuel Macron told Johnson that there was not enough time to negotiate a wholly new Brexit divorce deal. In a casual conversation that ensued, Johnson seemed to lift his right boot onto the furniture at the Elysee Palace. Now, the act, captured in a video, showed it to be Johnson's response to the joke cracked by his host Macron, in which he seems to suggest that the table could also be used as a footstool. Now, social media has erupted in condemnation of the stunt, calling it insulting and disgusting. Many have accused Johnson of bad behaviour, bereft of any manners. Several comments have associated the act with the Queen's reaction, who would never have tolerated such a thing at Buckingham Palace. But the other side referred to this incident as amusing, where both the leaders were sharing a light moment. The latest about the Papua protests, Indonesian President Joko Widodo has issued an apology in the wake of the detention of students in East Java. Hundreds of protesters held a rally in front of the local parliament building in Nabre province. They clashed with the police after a series of peaceful protests in the east and west Papua. The protesters demanded self-determination rights following students' detention in East Java's Surabaya. Now, they were detained over accusations of disrespecting the Indonesian flag during the Independence Day celebrations. Several buildings were torched. Around 1,200 additional security forces have been deployed in some areas. Internet services have been stalled in several places, and the unrest has simmered for decades in Indonesia. The Indonesian security forces have been charged with stoking racism and rights abuse. But President Widodo recently affirmed that the police will take strict action against this racial and ethnic discrimination. Russia is all set to launch the world's first floating nuclear reactor and send it on a journey across the Arctic. In a milestone for the country's growing use of nuclear power, the vessel is ready to be dispatched on a 4,000-mile journey along the North Sea route. The plant, named the Academic Lomonosov, is designed to substitute to retire an aging nuclear plant and a coal-burning power station.
Положительно, да, потому что опять, по крайней мере, не применяются ни там угольные станции, ничего подобного не применяется. Во-первых, не может быть никакого разлива нефти и так далее. То есть как бы природные среды, вот эти как бы топлива, они не используются. У нас все внутри, у нас ничего нет вовне.
But environmentalists are split on the consequences that the nuclear plant can trigger. Concerns are especially rife after a deadly explosion.